Hello everyone, welcome back to Football Now, a YouTube channel where we run you through the latest round of Premier League fixtures, give our own predictions and talk you through the betting odds. Say our own predictions, as I've said in all the other videos so far. It's just me this week. Connor is covering the darts for Darts Now, our affiliated darts channel. You can check that out in the description below, all the content that he's pushing out over there, as well as our other channels across the whole spectrum of sports. You can get involved with all the content which we're pushing out, like I said, in the description below. He has, however, sent over his predictions to me for all the games this weekend, so we'll be able to compare how will we fare next week, hopefully, if he's back. You can see I'm slightly ahead right now. He'll be hoping that change. Leave your own thoughts in the comments down below in terms of how you think this game will go. As you can see by the title of the video, Newcastle taking on Chelsea, 3 o'clock on Saturday. Let us know your own predictions and what you think of these two sides, how they're doing so far, etc. You can check our social media out as well. Twitter, Football Now 1 _ on Instagram, Football Now Insta. We're looking to really increase our content output on those platforms, in the coming weeks and months. Like I mentioned, Newcastle taking on Chelsea at 3 o'clock kickoff on Saturday. Before we get into that, we'll look at the Premier League table to see where those two sides are. Newcastle in 7th. It's very, very tight though, isn't it, in those European places? They'll be, I'm sure, hoping to get back in the mix for a Champions League spot next year. On 20 points now, 1 point behind Manchester United and 5 behind Aston Villa. There was that weird little spell, wasn't there, at the start of the season when Newcastle lost a couple of games to the likes of Liverpool, Man City, and a few others, where we started to wonder, were they going to suffer from that second season syndrome? Was the effects of European football already being felt by Eddie Howe's side? And then they've come back, I think they beat Sheffield United 8-0, and they've not really looked back since, have they, in the Premier League? And Chelsea, meanwhile, sitting in 10th, mid-table. If you've seen all our other videos, myself and Connor have always said this season is going to be very, very up and down for the likes of Chelsea and Mauricio Pochettino, as he looks to really find his feet and build the foundations to kick on in the coming years down at Stamford Bridge. I'll get the Premier League table off screen now. You've got the pleasure of looking at me again. Newcastle, in their last game before the international break, suffered a surprise defeat, actually, away to Bournemouth on the south coast. The Bournemouth, who have been struggling down there, they're in and around those Premier League places, aren't they? Let's just brighten my light up. There we go. Yeah, and they came away with a 2-0 win. Goals from Dominic Solanke, the difference that time. And Newcastle, look, I'm sure, will be eager to return to winning ways against Chelsea this weekend. Off the top of my head, I've not actually looked. I probably should look beforehand. I do think of them having a decent record against Chelsea. They're unbeaten in their last 3 games, by the looks of it. As you can see, I've got a separate screen up here. They drew 1-1 in July. Was that a friendly? Okay, maybe we won't include the friendly. They drew 1-1 though in May at Stamford Bridge, and Newcastle 1-0 winners last year at St James's Park. Look, we know we've spoken about at length on this channel, me and Connor, how difficult a place St James's Park can be to go, especially when the fans' tails are up. There's a lot of optimism around them right now. They're back in the Champions League for the first time in a couple of decades. That place really is booming right now. Like I said, it's one of the most difficult places to go in the country. Chelsea, meanwhile, though, before the international break, did hold Manchester City to a very, very interesting 4-4 draw at Stamford Bridge. And obviously that was I think it was just under a week after they defeated Tottenham 4-1 away at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Obviously a very misleading scoreline. A lot of those goals came towards the end of the game. And Nicholas Jackson hat-trick. Tottenham did suffer 2 red cards in that game, but no competitions now, Chelsea. They're unbeaten in the last 3. Before that, they beat Blackburn 2-0 at home in the EFL Cup. And, I'm sure, like I said, I think it's going to be very, very up and down. Whether Pochettino will be afforded the time to really find his feet at Chelsea, who knows? But yeah, I think it could be a one of those seasons where it's a lot of very inconsistent results as he still tries to figure out his starting 11. They've got a few players out injured, to say the least. Both of these sides, actually, I've got the injury list of both in front of me. I'll run through Newcastle first. Elliot Anderson, Harvey Barnes, Sven Botman, Dan Burn, Lewis Hall, who was ruled out because he's on loan from Chelsea, Javier Manquillo, Murphy, Target, obviously Tonali suspended, and Wilson all ruled out for Newcastle. Questions over Almiron, Isak, Longstaff and Shah as well. For Chelsea, Trevor Chalobah, Ben Chilwell and Chukwuemeka all ruled out. Bettinelli, Colwill, Gusto and Lavia also question marks over whether they will feature. Obviously, Romeo Lavia joined for a heavy fee in the summer from Southampton and is yet to make his Chelsea debut, I believe. So I'm sure he'll be anxious to get involved as he edges closer to an appearance for Mauricio Pochettino's side. It's an interesting game, this, but I think you've got to back Newcastle to get the home win. I've mentioned again, it's a difficult place to go, etc. So I'm going to back the home win. Like I said, we've got our own predictor, head-to-head predictors between me and Connor. He sent me over his predictions. Like I said, I'm going to look what he said first. He has gone for a 2-0 home win for Newcastle, like me. So to make it interesting, I'll go 2-1. I'll back Chelsea to get a goal, but ultimately lose in the northeast. Interesting game, though. Newcastle have featured a lot on TV this season, but I would have actually been interested to watch this one. I think it could be a good watch. But yeah, I'm going to go for a 2-1 win for Newcastle. Let us know your thoughts, or let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, your own predictions, and give us a follow over on the social media, as well as give us a subscribe and get involved on all our other channels, which are linked down below. Obviously, you can see all of the other videos I will be filming for the games this weekend. They'll be on the channel as well, so go check them out, and I'll see you in the next one.